Welcome back to Friends with Benefits Car Club, where car news meets chaos and sarcasm comes standard. This week, Tesla's Cybertruck is dropping in value faster than your cousin's crypto portfolio. Fiat's building a hybrid with a manual because apparently someone said, let's make saving the planet feel like a driving test. Toyota's bragging about having over 270 million vehicles on the road, which honestly just sounds like a traffic violation waiting to happen. Nissan's shutting down plants like it's spring cleaning, and Ferrari's going electric with a car so expensive it makes Bugattis look like budget buys. And yes, the Corvette is getting a new interior that screams, I'm midlife crisis, but make it techie. Let's dive in. So Tesla finally started accepting Cybertruck trade-ins, and surprise, depreciation is doing donuts on people's wallets. One unlucky owner paid nearly $100,000 for the all-wheel drive foundation series, drove it just 6,211 miles, and Tesla offered him, wait for it, $65,400? That's a 34.6% loss, in less than the time it takes most people to finish their Costco peanut butter jar. Another guy with 32,000 miles on his Cybertruck, Tesla came back with a $60,500 offer. That's 39% gone, vanished like your paycheck after rent, groceries, and one trip to Target. And look, I know all new cars depreciate, but this is cyber sad. The truck was marketed as a stainless steel tank, something that could outlast the apocalypse and double as a fashion statement in a Mad Max movie. But apparently, it can't outlast a Kelley Blue Book estimate. Here's my 2 cents. If you're thinking about getting a Cybertruck, buy it used. Seriously, let someone else take that hit. That way, when you finally scratch that cold rolled steel with a shopping cart, it won't sting quite as bad. But keep this in mind too. If anything breaks, that repair bill is gonna hit your bank account like a sledgehammer. Between the custom parts, proprietary everything, and Tesla's legendary service wait times, your wallet's going to be crying for help, like it's trapped in a group chat with Elon and no exit button. So, what about you? Still dreaming of a Cybertruck? Or did these trade-in numbers wake you up faster than an autopilot fail alert? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I need to know who's still brave out here. So Fiat, yes, that Fiat, just announced they're bringing back the 500, but make it hybrid. And then they went full chaotic neutral and added a 6-speed manual transmission to it. Hybrid, manual, 2025. This is either genius or an Italian fever dream. They're calling it the 500 Ibrida. And yes, it still has that adorable little face like it's about to ask you for a cappuccino. But now it's packing mild hybrid tech under the hood. And here's the kicker, you've got to shift gears yourself. In a world where even performance EVs have no gear shifts, Fiat said, nah, we want you to earn your efficiency. Honestly, I kinda love it. It's niche, it's weird, and it's probably going to confuse 99% of Gen Z drivers who think clutch pedals are vintage TikTok trends. But for those of us who still get a little thrill from a perfectly timed downshift, this is a rare gem. Also, props to Fiat for making something fun in a segment that's usually about as exciting as a beige Prius. It's the kind of car that says, yes, I recycle, but I also heel toe downshift into Whole Foods. So tell me, would you drive a hybrid with manual, or does that just sound like an identity crisis on wheels? Hit the comments and let me know. Toyota recently came out swinging with this stat. Over 150 million of their vehicles are still on the road globally. Yeah, 150 million. That's not a fleet, that's a takeover. In 2024 alone, they sold over 10 million cars under the Toyota and Lexus nameplates. Add in subsidiaries like Daihatsu and Hino, and you're looking at 10.8 million new vehicles invading streets, parking lots, and drive-thrus across the globe. Now don't get me wrong, I respect it. Toyota's secret sauce is simple: reliability, value, and making cars that are about as exciting as watching paint dry but refusing to die. It's why your neighbor still has a 2003 Corolla that's lived through 4 relationships, 2 jobs, and a pandemic. But here's my spicy take. We're nearing Toyota overload. They're everywhere. At this point, if you threw a rock into traffic, it would bounce off a Camry, ricochet into a Highlander, and then you'd get sued by a Prius driver. And with this many vehicles still running, Toyota may be the only car company that could survive an apocalypse and still sell you an extended warranty. What do you think? Is Toyota's domination impressive, boring, or low-key terrifying? And what's the oldest Toyota you've seen still going strong? Let's hear your wildest stories in the comments. Continuing on our next story with Toyota, the brand known for reliability, practicality, and, let's be honest, being the automotive equivalent of plain oatmeal. But now, Toyota is clearly tired of the boring label. Enter the 2026 CHR EV, an all-electric compact SUV with 338 horsepower and nearly 290 miles of range. That's not just decent, that's spicy. The new CHR looks futuristic, aggressive, and honestly, it's given off big budget spaceship vibes. I'm here for it. Then you've got the Nightshade Camry, which is basically Toyota's way of saying, we know this car has always looked like a dad's shoe, but what if we made it black and moody? Gloss black badges, 19-inch satin black wheels, a sportier SE trim. It's the kind of Camry that listens to Drake and wears all black because it's in a dark place. My opinion? Look, the Camry trying to be edgy is kind of adorable, like a golden retriever wearing a leather jacket, but the effort's there, and honestly, they've pulled it off better than I expected. As for the CHR EV, if it drives as sharp as it looks, this could be Toyota's big moment with Gen Z. So tell me, would you rock a blacked out Camry, or are you saving your garage for that CHR EV? Which of these is the bigger glow up? Let me know in the comments. Nissan has hit the big red reset button with something they're calling the Re-Nissan plan. Translation, they're closing 7 of their 17 global plants and laying off 20,000 workers by 2027. Why? Well, Nissan's been bleeding money. They posted a net loss of 671 billion yen last fiscal year, which is just a fancy way of saying they're in trouble, big trouble. And instead of throwing more sedans at the wall to see what sticks, they're slimming down, streamlining operations, and focusing on what actually sells. My take? I have mixed feelings. On one hand, good for them. They needed this shakeup. On the other hand, it's never great news when thousands of workers lose their jobs because some execs spent years chasing market share over making good cars. This could be the move that saves Nissan, or just delays the inevitable. Either way, they've got their work cut out for them. Do you think Nissan's doing the right thing here? Is this their comeback moment, or just the beginning of more bad news? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear both sides. Alright, take a deep breath, purists, because Ferrari is going electric. Yes, the brand known for high-revving V12s and midlife crises in red is plugging in. Their first fully electric car will be revealed on October 9th, 2025, with deliveries starting in late 2026. And the price? A humble 500,000 plus. You know, just casually $500,000 before options. And Ferrari doesn't do base models. They're promising it'll still be emotionally engaging, which sounds like marketing code for please don't panic, it's not going to be a Roomba on wheels. No official specs yet, but this thing is going to be fast. Like, Ferrari refused to let Tesla keep all the 0 to 60 records kind of fast. Now let's talk about the elephant in the silent room, the sound. Ferrari engines don't just make noise, they perform opera. And EVs, they don't do opera, they do awkward silence and tired noise. Some automakers tried to fix that. BMW pumped in sci-fi synth sounds. Audi's e-tron GT sounds like a TIE fighter clearing its throat. And don't get me wrong, I actually like those sounds. I'm a sci-fi nerd, so give me that Interstellar / Mass Effect hum all day. But this is Ferrari. You can't just give us something that sounds like your microwave powering up. Word is, Ferrari's working on a custom Ferrari unique EV sound. Not fake V12s, but something engineered to match their legacy. Something that evolves as you accelerate. Think spaceship opera instead of lawn mower on boost. My take? If anyone can make an EV sound like a moment of Italian passion, it's Ferrari. But they've got one shot to get it right. Because silence isn't an option at $500,000. So, what about you? Could you love a Ferrari that doesn't scream at 9,000 RPM? Or are you cool with a little Blade Runner energy under the hood? Let's geek out in the comments. Let's talk about the 2026 Corvette. Chevy finally did something we've been begging for, a full interior makeover. Gone is the infamous wall of buttons that made the cockpit feel like the control panel of a 90s fighter jet simulator. Now, we're getting a sleek 3-screen layout, a cleaner center console, and a design that finally feels like it belongs in the same decade as the car's performance stats. No more reaching over a great wall of HVAC controls to change the radio station. Praise be. Here's my take. This redesign is exactly what the Corvette needed. For years, it's been the best bang for your buck performance car, wrapped in an interior that screamed dealership manager special. But now, it's giving serious supercar vibes. It looks like something you'd find in a McLaren, minus the 6-figure markup and British electronics. And look, I still plan on adding a Corvette to my future garage. I'm manifesting this beauty. okay? Picture it now. Stealth, matte gray, low stance, aggressive angles. Parked right where my boring sedan currently lives. What do you think? Did Chevy finally give the Corvette the interior it deserves? Or are you gonna miss that wall of buttons? Drop your take in the comments below. And that's a wrap on another wild lap around the automotive circus, where some cars lose value, others lose factories, and Ferrari loses the V12 but gains a charging cable. Would you buy a $500,000 electric Ferrari? Are you excited for a hybrid Fiat with a stick? Or are you still stuck trying to understand why your Cybertruck is worth less than your iPhone? Let us know below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. We can take it. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Which story shocked you the most? And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, I'll leave them up on the screen for you. Seriously, thank you for watching to the end. It means the world to us. Whether you're here for the laughs, the news, or just to hang out, you're part of the Friends with Benefits family. As always, thanks for joining us on this ride. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if the car you're driving doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're driving the wrong one. Friends with Benefits, driving off.